Yeah, guys. What's up, Motherlode? M+3 should be fine. We gotta concentrate a little bit, but the team is item level around my warlock, similar to it, so I don't think we'll have much problem. Similar to him actually. Deus Lupus. So yeah, low damage by the way. Low damage at this point. I'm doing just fine. We're going to a little journey with the family, and tomorrow to the day after, and the first two whole days. A very nice, very pretty place. I may make a video from there. Here in Bulgaria, it's something like Earth House, you know. It's very cool. Panorama and all that stuff. And a very beautiful Bulgarian village. So yeah, this will be a video that I'm uploading now, eventually, if we do fine. But you'll be watching it after we return, most probably, or the last day. I'm not exactly sure. Got videos for several days on Heroes of the Storm still. So practically I've shot that video a little bit back in the days. And there will be most probably at least 2 more dungeons I'll try to play. One of the guys got a key, it's M+2 something. Let's see, what was it? Priority of the Sacred Flame. Ooh, fuck. Oh god. Yeah, so I got my team into our first problem. Here, it won't be fatal, I think. I don't know the exact routes here, so I don't know if we can fix that later on. Ooh. Okay, what the fuck am I doing? Was it me again? Maybe. So we may try to skip another part of this dungeon. I don't know. Which one? Wow, guys, by the way, TikTok is a so toxic platform. I just can't believe it. It's all just populism and, you know, mostly what the most vulnerable people in the society are thinking. It's like a nightmare. I don't have my own TikTok, so it's only the company's one, and I had to now answer to some of their hateful comments, and it's just awful, guys. I don't know if Bulgarians are such haters. The troll fabrics are working well, or I don't know what's up. I don't know what's it all about and all this. Well, there were some like objective, let's put it that way, like in the middle comments that I answer with respect and with like, it was cool, an interesting experience, of course, but there are so many pure hate comments like, no, you don't know about anything about the communism in Bulgaria, it was perfect. Guys, we all know, and there are of course those guys, but they're fewer, by the way, by somehow those guys that are no, the communism in Bulgaria wasn't perfect, not at all. You're mistaken. It's not like that. It has never been good anywhere around the world. It's not happening. The communism doesn't work like that. Plus, even if it works a little bit like that, for a short period, like people are kind of happy. Everything is super cheap because you know, the production is on a good level. The economy is producing for itself and for strategical partners. Okay, but still, it's so hilarious. And the thing is, so many young people are also spamming that untrue BS. So yeah, I don't know. So I had to answer a little bit tough, but I'm over it now. I'll just stop making content on that topic for quite a while. It's a political topic. I have stopped to do that, but nowadays Bulgaria needs it more than ever because there will be a national strike of some kind on the 31st of May. We'll see where will that go. I expect in that protest to see mostly very old people that have nostalgia for their youth more than for the regime, like authoritarian regime. Can you believe so many people in the world prefer authoritarian regime over democracy? I just can't understand it. But it's true, it's happening. Even I know some people like that. Very rarely, I'm not communicating very much with such people, but there are people. I know real-time people, young people, some of them with well-paid even. I really don't know what they think would happen in an authoritarian regime, especially in a country like Bulgaria, for example, in the US, in a very rich country like Australia, maybe Japan or something like that. For quite a while, their system, their economies can survive, and they can still have some standard, cause everyone in a totalitarian regime, you know, it's very simple. If you are living in an authoritarian regime, the poor people are super poor, and most of the people, like 95% of the nation, are super poor, and there's a small elite of between like 0.5% and, for example, 8% of the society that are the political elite, and they got it all. Like, they are living well, they are living a good life, but they gotta live on the cold corpses, cold zombie corpses of their own society or their own nation. Because this is a little bit how the real situation looks like. It's dire. Like, people are literally hungry. In those countries, people know hunger, you know. In all of the democratic states, even Bulgaria, hunger is something we have almost forgotten about. Like, no one is really hungry. Like, even the homeless people. Now, some people are like, but we got more homeless people than in the time when the Bulgaria was communistic state. No, it's not like that. There were homeless people back in the days as well, but the country was giving them some random jobs, like very lowly paid, like very poorly paid, literally, just so they can survive, and they were moving them from the big cities so the citizens can't see them. That was exactly what was happening. So yeah, you couldn't see easily a homeless person because they weren't living in the big cities, and you can only see them. Practically you can't see them because they were practically living in the, you know, in the industry, in some houses made especially for them until they reintegrate eventually. We even got some examples when those people actually got in good shape, like in a prison, very similar to that, and they got some good positions, but it was super rare, like 1 in a million, for example, a little bit more than that, one in several hundred thousands of Bulgarians was in that shoes, like. But most of the people are super poor, just super poor. I mean those that were with the lowest salaries, and those with the high salaries were like a little bit closer to the average, but they weren't actually living well. They were living, let's put it that way, livable for a democratic country. You would say that that's a poor life, but livable, like a little bit below the average. Let's put it that way. Those are the best people in a communistic state, and we can easily see that in, for example, countries like North Korea is an extreme example. There you can't even talk about wealth, about anything like that, because they don't know that word. It's super bad. Like the situation there is really bad for the people. They have practically no rights, and they can't do much about themselves, you know. They're just receiving orders, they're receiving something from the state, and they have to, from their country, and they gotta just collaborate, so to speak, and they can live eventually for another day, and that's it. A survival, and not a very good way of surviving. They're just like, it's just they're surviving until they can't do that anymore. So yeah, we got that example. But even in, for example, Brazil, you can see what all of the countries in BRICS, actually, in India, you can see how the poor people are living. And on the other hand, you can see, for example, in the most democratic countries in the world, for example, the US, the UK, like France, Switzerland, especially Switzerland, etc., etc. You can see even the poorest people, like the most not privileged people, unprivileged people, the people with the least rights and privileges from society, they're still living okay. They're still like, there is still place in the society for such people, and other people are caring for them. Not to talk about the pensions, and like when you retire, you're having a good life. You're living the life. For example, that's the biggest difference between, for example, well-living Bulgarian, a person that's got above the average wage, salary, or just a good business, even a lifestyle business, and the same person living in Germany, for example. Yes, they are actually living a similar kind of life. Of course, the infrastructure and all that stuff in Germany is better, so you are living in a better city, in better conditions. Everything is very much like society is caring much more for you. The country is caring much more for you. Everything is easier than in Bulgaria, but still, it's you can you can actually relate the one person with another from those two nations, because after all the taxes, even the net salary is not so different, and you can buy the same amount of like, you know, stocks and services, almost, like if you are a rich Bulgarian and semi-rich in Germany, for example, and here to make business, to be an entrepreneur is much easier, for example. So practically you can by somehow see the similarities. But when you get old and you can't work anymore, especially if you are on salary, if you are working for someone, you don't have your businesses that can run themselves, run on their own, then here your pension will be much less than that of the person from Germany. So practically they're living their last years much better than the most Bulgarians, and this is a big difference actually, because now it's a big part of your life. For example, after your 66, after your 65th anniversary, birthday, literally, you can of course continue for another, like, let's put it that way, 15 to 25 years. It depends on who you are and what you gotta do. And I mean active years, like in a world like the world nowadays. So yeah, it counts, and here people, the very old people, are not living extremely well. It's absolutely true. So we can understand why they want to make strikes. They want to protest against the regime, against what's happening here. But yeah, that's the main, like, one of the main differences between Western and Central Europe and here in Bulgaria, the Eastern Bloc, post-communistic countries. Most of them are similar to Bulgaria, but Bulgaria is growing each and every year. It's getting a little bit better. So I'm super happy about it. I'm seeing even, for example, older people that are actually finding ways to make a little bit more money, and with a little bit more money, even with a little bit more money, the Bulgarian can feel like a European already, a little bit more than the average. For example, with €1,000, I have said that many times, you can live a splendid life here, like a normal life, I would say. I put it that way, if you're not partying too much. It shall be pretty much enough, I guess. But on the other hand, if Bulgaria is once again a totalitarian state, it would be unlivable for most of the people, especially for the we'll find a way. Most probably the best people from one nation always finds a way. Like the top, for example, 15 to 30% of the nation will always find a way, in no matter in what kind of regime and what kind of state we are living in, we will find a way. It's true. But for those that are the poorest people in Bulgaria, it would be unlivable if Bulgaria once again becomes a totalitarian state. And there are so many reasons for that. First of all, we have been building democracy for already around 35 years. Effectively, it's maybe around, let's put it that way, between 15 and 20 years. And we are somewhere on the way. We are doing some of the things just fine, other things we are doing very well, but those are fewer than those that we are doing on an average level, let's put it that way. And we are failing hard in many aspects as well, and everything in between. But the thing here, the most important thing that we must never forget is that the cost you're paying for freedom, literally, to be in a democracy is always worth it. Because if you are living in a democratic state, after some time, it will become better and better, and at some point it will become like at least the European countries. It will become a state with high income. It has already. we just step in that position of a country with high income. I have been a person with average to high, mostly high salary for all of the Europe, much above the average, but also for many countries, like for the most countries, it's I would be counted as rich most probably. It's like, let's put it that way, between 5 and 8%, and for countries like Bulgaria, I will be around the 2% of the people in the best position, let's put it that way. And I feel the freedom, I really like it that way. I mean, it could be much better. It's absolutely true. People are absolutely right about it, but it could be so much worse. Like we're better than like around 200 countries in the world. We're around the 50th place, but in some stats we are even in the most privileged position, between the 20th and 30th place, for example, which puts us in a very interesting and very good position, I would say, on the world market. And Bulgaria's got some not so big economy, and it's easily fixable. Like Bulgaria can become a very rich country, like Ireland, for example. We can follow the example of Ireland, like of Sweden, of Norway. If Bulgaria's got only several big businesses here, big investors in Bulgaria, and there will be such if we continue with our democratic path. Even if we just try to make democracy, even if we continue with our trials, let's put it that way, continue trying, it will still be okay, and big investors will invest more and more in this country until it becomes rich eventually, like bigger time than it is now. And I strongly believe that will happen. It's not even questionable. But the thing is, so many people are not understanding that, or at least it seems so. I hope most of those people are actually trolls and they are not real people, and that's not their real opinion, but I'm pretty sure there are such people that will try to sabotage our progress to this point, and I totally don't like that, guys. Anyway, thank you very much, bye bye, and I'll be seeing you in the next one tomorrow at the very same hour. You know the drill, you know the deal. So let's go. Bye bye, guys.